Hi, I'm Heather Sims, a real estate broker in the Dallas area. And this week, I'm talking to you potential home buyers out there who are on the fence about buying because of today's kind of weird real estate market. There's one thing I hear from buyers all the time right now. I think we're just going to wait. And I get it, I really do. But there's a huge problem with the way that most people are thinking about this and in terms of waiting and why. The biggest lie buyers are telling themselves right now is this: I'm just going to wait until things get better. Better rates, better prices, better timing. And on the surface, that sounds really reasonable. Let's talk about what actually is happening. Waiting feels safe, right? It feels like you're avoiding risk. It feels like you're being smart. But waiting is actually not a home buying strategy because what are you waiting for exactly? You're waiting for lower rates. You're waiting for more inventory. You're waiting for that perfect house. You're waiting for lower prices. Those things don't always happen at the same time. And in real estate, timing the market, I will tell you right now, is almost impossible. It is just not possible. So instead of asking, is this the perfect time? A better question is, does this make sense for me right now? Because let's say rates do drop. Sounds great, right? But what also happens? More buyers jump back into the market, which means more competition, could be multiple offers, less negotiating power. So your rate might be lower, but the house might also be more expensive, and maybe it's harder to win. I've seen buyers get priced out not because of rates, but because of competition. It was happening all the time in 2020, 2021. This is where I'm seeing another big issue come up. More and more. Buyers also think that they understand their monthly payment, but they don't always. And sometimes it's because their lender hasn't clearly laid it out. I actually had a deal fall through last summer because of this exact thing. The buyer was working with a big bank. It wasn't my buyer. I was on the listing side. But everything seemed fine until about a week before closing, when her real monthly payment was given to her. It was significantly higher than what she expected. At that point, of course, what does the buyer do? She panics. Understandably, and the deal fell apart. She pulled out. And unfortunately, it's not a super rare situation. Here's something I tell my buyers all the time. Just because you're approved for a certain price does not mean you should go out and offer on a house that's that price. We live by our monthly payment, not the purchase price for a house. So one thing I have my buyers do is to ask their lender to break down payments, monthly payments, at different price points. For example, what does a $400,000 house cost? $425, $450, $475. That can feel really different at different price points monthly. And no one wants to be house poor, right? You still want to travel, you want to go to dinner, you want to live your life, you want to have fun. And you don't want to be constantly stressed about making that monthly mortgage payment. And by the way, your payment isn't just your loan amount and your interest rate. It also includes property taxes, which are super high in Texas, homeowners insurance, possibly HOA dues, and in a lot of new construction areas right now, you also have those fun MUD or PID taxes. And if you don't know what a MUD or PID is, I have done another video explaining those taxes to you that you can find on this YouTube channel. And that will answer that question about what is a MUD or a PID. Basically, they're extra taxes that can significantly increase your monthly payment. I've seen a lot of buyers fall in love with a new build home, and the tax rate made the payment way higher than expected because of a MUD or a PID. And it really does matter. Also, I've actually learned something recently that I've been sharing with my buyers. I was helping a client look at a home in Rowlett in Dallas County. We were trying to estimate the taxes. So what I did was I reached out to my title company contact, asked her to run the taxes on a home with exemptions. She actually told me there's a calculator on the Dallas CAD site. They have a calculator built in where you can plug in the address, put the appraised value in there, add your exemptions in, like homestead or over 65, those kind of exemptions. It shows you exactly what your estimated taxes would be with all the different taxing entities itemized. Such a helpful tool. So here's what I always recommend. Ask your lender, can you break down the amount of house that I qualify for at different price points? What is my realistic monthly payment? How much are you using for taxes and insurance? Can you break down the amount of house that I actually qualify for at different price points? Bottom line is you want to know what you can expect on a monthly basis, because the goal isn't just to qualify for a home. It's to feel comfortable with the payment after you move in. So if you're thinking, I'm just going to wait until things get better, I would shift that, if I were you, to, do I actually understand my numbers and my options right now? Because there is no perfect market, but there is a smart way to approach the market. And when you do that, you can make a really confident decision with no surprises at that finish line. So So if you've been stuck in the waiting loop, hopefully this helped you feel a little bit more grounded in what actually matters in terms of the numbers and how to look at the home buying process. And if you want a little more of that, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'm here every week giving you helpful tips on the real estate market in North Texas. And I would love to have an opportunity to help you whenever you are ready to dive into the home buying process. Hope to see you next week on another edition of All Things Real Estate. Bye-bye.
All things real estate and all